wake up. Look where I am. I wonder if you can hear the birds. So I just ran here, but I got so many beautiful thoughts. I don't even know where to start or if I ought to share those or just carry them in my being. And I saw a deer. And let's see how I want to show you these things. Let's go into silence, and then if I get to edit this, I'll edit in the deer and whatever else I saw. I saw 3 animals on the way here. And, I forgot to write down the woman, 3rd woman. All right, let's get into stillness. I'm gonna sit down for this. For this part, then I'm going up my hill. You guys know the hill if you've seen my videos. Look at this. All right, that looks good a place as any. So, I've been talking a lot about entering stillness, learning to have more presence in your life. And that's up to you. I just slid down. But for me, I wish someone had told me how much this stillness and presence could change my life. I don't know if I would have understood what they were talking about anyway. So I'm sitting here wondering how I can help you guys, walk with you, to get you to be able to go into this space today, right now. And what came to mind was, to my intuition mind, my heart, whatever, was this little girl I saw on the path on the way here. First, I had this on, the shirt, rise up, rise up. And my heart was full of love this morning because I was in a kind of open-heartedness and prayer, if you want to say. I mean, I do prayers in the morning usually, but it's not about that. It's about having a heart that's soft and open to love. And when we're caught up in our traumas and past and the news and whatever, we sometimes forget how to have a soft heart. And so I saw this little girl with black hair, and she was holding her grandfather's hand on the trail on the way here. First thing on the trail. And, there's different things I did. I left my house and then I went back to go get something else. And so, you wonder when I was going to see this. And usually I take the upper path, but this morning I felt like taking the lower path, and she was on the lower path. But I could just feel, sweetheart, you know what I mean? It was so sweet. Her holding her grandfather's hand, and they're going on this walk in nature, And so I said something like, good morning. And then I took my earbud out because I had both in. I was listening to music loud this morning. And she said, have a good day, like a little girl, And then I turned back around to her because I was running. And I'm like, rise up. I'm like, rise up, And I said, my shirt says rise up, And she started running. It was great. And then I noticed her shirt was dinosaur, just bones, with a heart. Uh, I'm not going to take pictures of, of, well, I mean, I'm not going to say what I won't do, but anyway, I wish. I have it in my mind, in my heart. But so it's dinosaur bones, and he's holding a heart. And I was like laughing, and I was like, oh no, now she's running, But the first sight of a beautiful flower that she saw, she stopped to smell the flower. So I was like, worried that her grandfather couldn't catch up with her. But that's my conditioned self. My conditioned self goes back to fear and what's going to happen, and my awakened still self, that's still the self that knows how to be in presence and is not afraid of it, goes into expansiveness and joy and peace and not worry. I was getting counsel from a person that's knowledgeable about presence, and he recommended this book that my hairstylist had recommended a long time ago that I started reading. But it's the subtle art of not giving a F about anything. And I'm not saying that everything in it is like the whatever. I won't qualify it, but that came to mind this morning, because I was like, oh, well, am I meant to run? Am I meant to walk? Am I meant to do a video today or not? And then the title of the book came to my mind, and it was like, oh, let me learn the art of just being present and seeing what unfolds and seeing if I'm going to make a video or if I'm not going to teach, or, and then I just got the image of this hill, and I was like, I want to run all the way to that hill. And I didn't know if I could make it or what. Like, I don't know if I've been, it was easy today, and I didn't even realize I wasn't breathing. And then I realized because I was in presence. And so let's just get in presence. Oh, the next girl, though, that I saw, and this can help you get into the silence, is I ran past another little girl, and she was with her brother, and they were playing, and their dad was in front of them, and she had turned around to see me because I was running, and another woman was running in front of me. And I saw her shirt had a sunshine, a sun with rainbow rays out of it. And so I looked back, and I'm like, good morning. And when I was running past, and I saw it said, Radiate Good Vibes. I'm like, yeah. And so it's like, that's what my intuition showed me, how you can get into this silent space. And it's not demanding, but it has something to do with the subtle art of radiating good vibes, and naturally, if we are souls in a body, that's what you are. All you are is good vibes. That's what the essence of who you are is, your being self. And so if you take a second, take a deep breath. You can imagine in everything, you're just blowing out everything when you exhale your breath. And see how I fell down this little hill, and I'm just sitting on the dirt. Maybe there's a reason. It doesn't have to have a reason for everything, but just imagine yourself being grounded, sitting in dirt. Hopefully you saw the animals. Let me think. No, I think I had to put the animals in after this. Because the animals, they're teaching us something. They're connected to the earth, and they're not worried about anything in the future. They're in the present. There's something they're teaching us. I feel that in my heart, and someone said it yesterday in one of my meetings on Zoom. So let go of all your thoughts and worries and everything for a second. Know that you can come back to them. But for a moment, I usually look, if I can, see this bush? I look at the wind blowing through the leaves. it's like the art of not doing, being. You learn how to be in your being self. I have my music note. The hearts, it's like music. It is like music. When you get into music, sometimes your thoughts can go away and you can be distracted for a moment. But this is like this. This is why music can feel so good. Among other reasons. All right, I feel like walking. But when I was on my walk earlier, I heard, like, do less. Someone sent me a funny video. They texted me. And it was like Forgetting Sarah Marshall movie, part of that. And from a while back. And Paul Rudd was learning how to surf. And he was teaching him, like, okay, now jump up. No, do less. Jump up on your board. No, do less. You gotta get into the good vibes, man. So, you can stay in this presence. I could stop the video right now. That would definitely be enough. It's not about enough. Enough. When you have enough love, then you have fun in your life. That's what I learned so long ago. Nuff, he spelled it N-U-F. That's fun backwards. When you have enough love. And how do you get love? Not from getting it from other people. That's what you are. You are love. You are the vibrating sunlight. We are, the Native Americans say we're in the mind womb of God. And so, if we're made out of the substance of God, where He breathed life into us, the essence of us is love and peace and joy. It's natural. It's not something out there that we need to get. And so, I was reflecting on one of my friends because, of course, he was like a mirror to me. When I keep thinking my power is out there and I have to go get it, then it's constantly out there. And I don't see and notice that it's in here. It's in here. Rise up, because I heard that Aaron Doughty guy say, oh, and Rumi said the same thing. It's not about seeking for love. It's about removing the barriers between yourself and love. And so, when we do that, we rise up. When we let go of the layers, when we get into higher vibrations, because we let go of the low vibrations, we naturally rise up. It's all natural and organic. We return to love. I hear something. So I'm going to get on this side. I keep seeing these. I love these. There's the sun again. Look at that. That's what we are. But it's not my job to convince you. And so this morning I was like, why aren't you guys, not you guys, but in my heart, why isn't my intuition or whatever telling me what to do, And I got this old saying from a prophet before said, the Lord desires mercy, not sacrifice. And don't worry, I'm not going to get religious on purpose or anything. But it's like a joyful, spontaneous action, you know. If my kid like went and picked flowers or something, I don't know about picking flowers, like they needed to be pruned, let's say, whatever. I'm not going to judge. But he went and got flowers and brought them to me because he just felt love in his heart, you know. That's different than my mom telling him, hey, it's Mother's Day. You have to go get your mom flowers, you know. That's just from a different place, and both end up in me getting flowers. But one's just from out of his joy, you know. And so, what would it matter if I got this intuition inside that said, you have to make a video today, you know, versus I have so much on my heart that I just know is good food for your soul, and I want to give it to you. And if you are here, then feel free, take from this buffet of beautiful knowings that we can all know. Look at this. I wish we knew teleportation already, and you guys could all just be here in this quiet. But you create that by having quiet in your heart. You do. Let me see. This looks like a good spot. So, one thing I was reflecting on is this idea of going up this hill. There's a part in George MacDonald's book, The Princess and the Curdy, not the one I read, but the one after that, where, oh wait, it might be in The Princess and the Goblin. There's a bike. Nice. I know that feeling, right? That's a different video. So, Curdy is looking from a distance, and he sees his father on a hill, and he can't, and there's another person with him, and one's going down the hill, one's going up, and he can't tell the difference, and you know, which one is going up and which one's going down, because they're at the middle of this hill. That's the image that was coming to my mind. And as far as I can see it, how it applies to us right now here in life, because I believe that these images are given to us, to you. You are resonating with me somehow, or you wouldn't have come across this video. And so just take whatever I say that resonates in your life. Is if there's the sun rays, but is when you move into judgment, you lower your vibrations. And so if we love this feeling of rising up, of having good vibes, of being in the stillness, of feeling the presence, because when you're in presence, you see everything on a deeper level. You experience life in such a rich way. Like music sounds different to me. Nature has more depth to it, and there's more, it's like glow or essence or presence. As I have more presence, everything around me in the universe has more presence, and it's blowing my mind. It's incredible. And I see people differently, and I love people differently. I love people on a different level. I love myself on a different level. I value different things because I learned how to relish presence and be in that, and that I crave that more than... It's like when Jesus says, the kingdom of God is within you, and seek first the kingdom of God. To me, that's this. It's not running after some high. It's going deeper and deeper into my heart self, where, oh, here comes a person. Let me think. I don't know if I can say it with words, I can think to get there more, but morning. How are you? Good. Nice music. So when we move into judgment, whether someone's going up, or coming down, oh, are they going into higher vibes or whatever you want to call it, it brings us to a lower place because we're in judgment, and then we get out of this being self of our we're just out of being and in judgment. So yes, we want to climb higher, but I just was hearing, judge not lest you be judged. Judge not. Christ said that. The measure you judge other people, that's the measure that comes back to you, because then you go into your judgment self and your critical self, and you're not in your expansive self. You're back in your conditioned self. And so conditioned self is our programming and what we grew up with, and what our parents taught us and their parents taught us, and what fear teaches us. And it's not in our being self. Our being self radiates good vibes, like that little girl's shirt. It's so rad. And so what came to mind about that, I was like, oh, okay, I saw an example of that. Is I've been meeting new people. That looks like a deer track. Look, this looks like one right there. They look like a heart. Like a heart is, they call a deer heart sometimes too, but that's so cool. Yeah, those are deer tracks going over there. So, so I was meeting new people, and I was talking to this one person over text. And if I had been in judgment, I wasn't invested at all. I was just invested in being present and curious, all right. I was like, let's watch this unfold, because it's just texting, and I wasn't worried about anything. And so it's just being in presence and watching and allowing that person to be whoever he was. It's a guy. And had I been in judgment, it would have shut him down and shut the conversation down, and I would have moved to a different place internally anyway. But instead, I just observed. I was just present. And I learned something from this guy that no one's ever taught me before. And not that everything has to be like this learning experience and blah, blah, blah. But it was something about the nature of men that I didn't understand before, because I'm not a man in this body right now. I am a soul in this body. So yesterday I saw a video of John Butler's, and that was just posted, and he was talking about, he said, if you look at a pyramid, there's all these rocks on the bottom, and then there's less rocks and less rocks, and then there's one at the top. And he was saying, if you go up to this high place, then you're above male and female, and you're in the oneness, like, let's say, like God, you're in the oneness, so you see things from a higher perspective. And so you're not divided, because someone had asked him a question about how do you not screw up relationships? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like this old, 85, I don't know how old he is, old man that talks about presence and stillness, and he's so good about it. He's so fantastic. One of my girlfriends was like, I love that man. I'm listening to him all the time now that I sent her a video. But We all wonder these things. And it's like he said, if you get high enough, then you let go of all your questions. You don't need to know the answers because you're in this love space, and that's what we were looking for. What were we looking for in a relationship? We were looking for love. Every time I move back into this being place, I stop looking because I already have it. I have it. I am it. I love. It's what you are. I was listening to the Jonas Brothers song, I Believe, on the way here over and over and over again while I was reading. I'm running because I just didn't want to, mess with my phone and find anything else. And that's just what was there. But the lyric in it is like, nothing matters anymore now that I got you here with me. And then it goes, that's what was just playing in my head when I paused, I think about you every time I lose myself again, and I lose myself again. For me, that's Christ, always, but those could just be words for you. But every time I lose myself again, I saw what happened. How did he lose himself? He showed me how to lose myself. It's like you lose yourself to find yourself. Every time I keep facing death, like every time I'm in the ocean, I was swimming in the ocean the other day to go see the sea lions. Oh yeah, I said this in my singing video. When I sang the song Home, I said it a little bit, but I went swimming. My friend invited me to go swimming in the ocean, and I was like, all right, let's do it, And I was afraid. I wasn't going to be able to swim out there in the ocean. I hadn't been way out there where he wanted us to swim to this rock where there's sea lions. And I knew he had done water polo, so he was very strong in the water, but I didn't know what was going to happen. And I just trusted. And I mean, I'm strong. I do yoga every day, so I know I'm strong and I can swim in the ocean, but I didn't know if I could rely on that. I couldn't, And then we jumped in, and he's like, "Oh, I used to be a lifeguard at this beach." I'm like, "Oh, thank God," like God provided again, But it's like I had to go in the water. I didn't find that out till we were in the water. And then I had goggles because he told me to bring goggles. And I looked in the water. He's like, "Oh, you ought to look at the fish." And there's a shark. There was a shark in the water. I'm not kidding. And he's like, I'm like, "Is that a shark?" And he's like, and we're out there swimming, right? And he's like, "Yeah, it's just a sand shark. They don't bite us." And I'm like, what is a shark? And so it's just like when I was in Patmos. We were swimming at this one place. My friend and I and her brother, and it was probably dumb. We went under this one thing to get to the other side, but we didn't know how far it was going to be. But one of us had a mask, so she went first. But then she went to the other side, and I was trying to stay calm and not freak out. But I was like, she could be dead. I don't know. I was yelling for her. She was yelling for me. We couldn't hear each other because there's water, and the rock was between us. And, when we went back to the boat, the captain was like, "Yeah, I've had to do CPR so many times in that place." Because I went after her. She came back, and then I went without goggles. I just opened my eyes in the ocean. I'm not recommending this, okay? I'm not recommending this. I am recommending in your life, Why are we holding so tightly, you know, to our fear of our ego self? I was talking to another man last night. I got to go out and meet someone. Here's someone's coming, so I'm going to walk because I felt like walking anyway. And this guy was talking to me about an experience he had. I don't want to just tell everybody else's stories, but let's say when I do know of another person. I know of another person. I can talk about this. I was at this tavern-like place or whatever. We were all having lunch. This is about 5 years ago. And this guy was telling me about how, I think he's half Mexican, and they were deep in Mexico with a tribe of Indians of some kind. And he was having he was going through a ritual, let's say, with them and experiencing something. And what happens, though, is when you go through this plant experience that he had, you lose your minds, basically. We're in our mind, and we are dependent on our intellect and our mind for so many things. And he was engaging with them in their experience. I don't want to say so much because I know one of my friends lets her kid watch my videos. But I say these videos are not made for kids, so anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. He had an experience, and the experience of what he ingested made it so, it took away his mind. He couldn't rely on his mind. And so, here, I'll go over here. He, it felt like he was going to die because it's your egotism, your personality self. Now, I'm not recommending that either. You can, this is your life to live, and I've never done that, to have these experiences. I've had it naturally by facing death, psychologically, by pain, by other experiences I've had in my life, by just being observant and aware. One second. Morning. This is cool. All right. So it is like when Christ says, take up your cross every day and follow me, it's just learning how to be back in this present self, in your being self, not your everyday personality, your conditioned self, your fear self, the one. Oh, I heard a woman say yesterday or the day before, I was listening to classes, and she was saying, when you're inspired by your higher self, your deeper self, this being self, to the high visions that your soul had for being here on this earth, for you to accomplish, it also can raise up your conditioned fears, your worst fears can come up at the same time. And so she's teaching us how to, not be afraid of those, and not listen to those, and not stay in our conditioned self, stay in our authentic self. She calls it your authentic self and your conditioned self. And so one of my other friends was like, look, if I saw a shark, no way. I wouldn't even go out in the ocean in the first place, And people, I'll show you that. I'll plan on showing you guys the snake and stuff. I don't want to make this too long, but I'll just put it in after this. I plan to. But a lot of my friends were like, I would never go on these trails because there's snakes, And how are we going to rise up unless we just learn how? This is the thing, is I think the theme maybe is as you learn how to rise up. Here, let me show you nature again. As we learn how to rise up and be in our present and be in deep presence, then it is like the Jonas Brothers song. It's like nothing matters anymore now that I have you here with me. I am here with me. I am here with God. With God, the kingdom of God is within me. With this shining, it's like the candles that I have, the Jesus candles, where there's the shining heart of Christ, you know, this burning heart. You're in that deep place. And so it's like, it doesn't matter. I don't have to judge anyone because it doesn't matter. I'm not their judge. And then I can be present and I learn. I wish I could convey the most beautiful truths that I learned from that person, that guy, by not being in judgment with him, the person I was talking about that I was texting for a little bit. And then it was over. And maybe I'll talk about that some other time. But it's in my being now. It's in my being. It's informed my being. I know how to better understand men because I wasn't in judgment. And the masculine part of myself. And the more you learn how to be in stillness, the more gravity you have, or the more presence you have, the less you're going to be blown here and there by life, by circumstances. You know, if everyone could have said before, oh, you need to have more patience, you need to have more galassanite, you know, more surrender, more peace, more like be less flighty or less moved by or the subtle art of not giving an F, you know? It's like no one told me that if you just develop more presence, stay in the stillness, it's more intimacy. It burns away your egotism, your outside, external personality self. Like what I was talking about, that one guy had the experience where his personality self was all taken away in a moment, and by the trip he was having with the shaman that he was meeting with. And it freaked him out, like he had a traumatic experience in a way. Well, this other guy was guided. One guy was guided, but no one told me that this is why I want to convey it to you, is if you learn how to do that, how to sit in presence and silence and connect with this joy being of yourself, with this peace, with love, with who you actually are in your being self. Go back to your is-ness. Observe your thoughts. Watch them like you're watching sailboats on the water. You are. Who is you? Who are you? No one told me, like, get into her, find her, be her. And then you will be surrendered. You will be galassanite. You will be at peace, because nothing matters anymore now that I got you here with me. I could sing it, and then it's like, I think about you every time I lose myself again, and I lose myself again, my exterior self. And you lose yourself to find yourself. You must die to yourself to live. And the seed must go into the ground, and the external part of it goes off, so that the soft heart can be born again and grow into who you really are. I was listening to Eckhart Tolle, and he said, what Christ is teaching us, he's always teaching us about higher consciousness. And I don't know that. But if you look at Christ for a while and the red words in a Bible, look and see if he's always talking about higher consciousness. And like, you know, Bob Marley was talking about his songs. I heard him say it, you know, on a video clip. Our songs are a path to higher consciousness. He's teaching higher consciousness in his songs, but you can just sit and be in the presence of his songs, you know. You don't always have to be in this, okay, what's the higher consciousness, you know? Be in a place of curiosity, of exploration, of wonder, of, that's when I was like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to do this video or no, whatever? It's like, well, just be in a state of wonder and watch what happens. And I got to see the sunshine with rainbows on that girl's shirt that said Radiate Good Vibes. Hello. I feel like my career is about to take off to a direction further than I imagined or dreamed. And maybe not. I'm not worried about it, but I'll tell you now. It's been fun making these videos for you guys. And I hope they stay here and stand the test of time and still speak to your heart and love you. I don't know if I face a shark or a bobcat now and I'm not here. I don't know. I don't know any of that. But I know, I guess if I did, then you wouldn't be seeing this video because I have to be back to upload it, or someone does. Tomorrow's the anniversary of my friend Elliot's passing. I remember looking down at this when it said 10:21, and it reminded me that tomorrow's 10:21, today's 10:20. Anyway, we don't know when our life is over, but when are we going to live? When are we going to rise up? Show up for your own life. Oh, that scared me. Someone's running. All right, I wish you so much love. Much love. I was just feeling snake. So weird. I was just looking backwards to see if the bobcat was there. Glad These are baby deer tracks.